Someone missing? I guess have a great welcome for the director, Antonio Banderas. It was tough. It was an adventure. Actually, it was at some parts very beautiful, and some parts also very painful. Not just because of the fact of going back to my town, but because we try with this movie to make an exercise of freedom in a creative way, and we had to actually create that space, carrying all the links that attach with the influences that we may have on the outside. So what we tried to do basically to do this movie is to cut all those links. What the professional world is going to think about this movie, how the box office is going to behave. Those things were forbidden in our set. We had to get to a place in which you can create from the most freedom possible, and that is actually painful. Not so much because of the people that were surrounding us in the shooting at the time, but because of myself. You sometimes get attached to things and that are very difficult to break. I've been working in Hollywood for 17 years, and all of those things are very important, you know, how the movie is going to behave, what the people are going to think about that. And I didn't want to do a work like that. I want to do something that was way more personal. For me it was very important to not only go back to my town, which I left almost 30 years ago to become what I became, but to go back to 1970, at the end of the 70s when I left. That was the time that represented in a way for me the engine of what I am now. And believe me, those years, being 17, 18, 19 years old, was not a happy experience. I didn't live, or I don't remember those years like being a springtime. No, I remember them years of questioning, of confusion, the discovering of different universes, female universe, sex, friendship, betrayal, all of those things. And I was searching actually for that for many years. It was when I was reading the novel of Antonio Soler that in page 30, 35 I knew I was in trouble. I was in trouble because the novel already was told in a totally different way than traditional novels, a very somber, strong, harsh way of reflecting about life and death, but that actually represented for me a very similar picture of what we live at that time. I met Antonio Soler in 1976, and he said to me at that time, you know, I'm going to tell you something that many people, when I talk about this, they laugh, you know, but I trust you that you're not going to laugh. And he said to me, I want to be a poet. And I said, well, I'm not going to laugh because, you know, I want to be an actor, and the people laugh even more when I say that. There was a time in Spain that it was forbidden to dream, and we dared to do it. And we have the possibility, 30 years after, to reflect about ourselves at that time, about basically the impossibility to loving. That's for me, one of the big issues in the movie. Not only in the main couple in the movie, you know, Miguelito and Luli, but in other characters too. They feel it, but they don't know how to articulate it, even if they take the Divine Comedy as an instruction book for life. But there are no instruction books for life. And Miguelito is going to discover that very soon into our story, and he's going to pay a price for that. So pretty much that's the feeling that I had when I attacked this project. I am just working weird here because I didn't sleep in the last 4 days. So I am kind of a little bit off. Anyway, we'll try just to answer all the questions that you have for us. Yo voy a hablar de vosotros un poco y después vosotros vais a hablar de mí. Well, we saw in Spain around 1,300 young actors all around the country. We did some screen tests in Barcelona, we did it in Madrid, we did it in Sevilla, and we did it in Málaga. And for me it was very important just to find new faces, young people, because that is one of the purposes of the company that we put together in Málaga. It's called Green Moon Spain, and the company, the vocation of the company is not only to produce movies for me to direct. The purpose of the company is just to put behind the camera young kids that they don't have the opportunity of telling stories. You know, people that are doing short movies in Spain at this time, they're writers, but they cannot move. They don't have the money to go to Madrid, to Barcelona, the big centers of cinematography in Spain. So we thought that we can decentralize a little bit that thing and just to bring people to a place that I strongly believe there is a tremendous amount of talent, and it's the south of Spain, Andalusia. And so that is the purpose. And the purpose of finding new actors and new faces was essential in the whole entire process. When we selected them, for me it has been a very interesting experience because I just discovered that actually this generation of actors that are coming out in Spain now, very young actors, are way better than my generation. They're more complex, they know more what they are talking about, they are more trained in television because we have more channels, probably not the ideal things to do, but they have the training of being in front of a camera. I saw some way when I was directing this movie myself in their eyes every day, when I was that age, when I came here to Berlin almost 20 years ago now, with Time Down of Pedro Almodovar. It was a long time ago, and time goes very fast, but that's what I saw on them. So I tried to give them, actually, all of those things that I didn't have the time that I was a young actor in Spain. I tried for them to feel free and fearless when we were creating this movie. And we were just taking a project that was very complex, very difficult, that it doesn't talk about a coming-of-age movie in a traditional way. We just try to do poetry with it. It doesn't, everything gets explained. This is a movie that is not trying to be told, it's trying to be actually remembered. And they accept the game, and they play fully for it, without fear. Not only the actors, but all the chiefs of departments that we had in the movie. We all had to believe in the story, whether if the story was going to be great or not. That was not the important thing. The important thing was to do an exercise of freedom when we were doing it.